Welcome to another episode of Figuring Out with Billy Arends. I am Billy Arends, and this is my digital journal of my life and how I am figuring things out here in the Earth School. I am not one of those people that actually have New Year's resolutions. And normally in December, that's when my birthday is, and I kind of always reflect on whatever happened during the year, like if I actually grew as a human being. And to me, 2020 has been such a liberating year. I know we went through the COVID-19 epidemic, we went through a lockdown and all that, but I feel I grew as a human being. I am not the person I used to be. I am a better version of me. I am more confident, I'm more blissful, I'm more peaceful, I'm happy. Um, and I just feel like I'm just in the best place I've ever been in my life. Like, I love this version of Billy Arends, and becoming this Billy Arends was no easy road. Um, I I went through a lot to get to this point in my life, and I feel like my life is still changing. I'm still becoming something, and I feel like I'm slowly being in service to something far greater than myself. I am a creative being, and finally in my life, I am working in an environment that's creative. Well, I don't call it work anymore because I am following my passion. Slowly dreams are coming true that I always had. Like, I believe that manifestation is a real thing. You can manifest something today, and that dream can come true at any time. It could come true tomorrow, next year, in 10 years' time. But as long as you set that intention, your dreams will come true. Yeah, so let me dig into it. The things that actually changed in my life this year during the lockdown, I had a time to actually reflect on who Billy Arends is. I dug deep. I went to places in my soul. I went to the darkest corners. Um, Everything that caused me pain or suffering or all those things came to the surface, and I found a way to deal with it. And I've found ways to leave things in the past that belongs in the past. I learned to forgive myself for things. I forgave people for things they've done to me. And in some cases, I had to forgive me and the other party for things that I've done in my life. And with forgiveness, you get a sense of freedom. You get a sense of like liberating yourself from things in the past that always hold you back. And I think we have to forgive all the time because we need to grow as human beings. We can't stay in one place as a being human. Being human is being in the earth school and learning and growing your spiritual self. Yeah, this is just the earth school. Like, this world is not gonna last forever. Your life here won't last forever. You're just passing by. And while you pass by, you have to learn and grow as a human being. Now, let me get into it. Now, when we talk about work, I don't actually call it work anymore. Like, when I'm in my passion, when I'm in the environment where I'm being creative, that role actually changed. And this year, I had to accept the fact that I am now one of the leaders in the business. I had to accept that I am one of the decision makers. I have to take the responsibility for the future of the brand we're working on, and it's a responsibility I can't take lightly, because if I fail, we all fail. Like, I have to accept that decisions I make will not affect me only, but it will affect people. And with that type of position, as I said, it comes with a great deal of responsibility. And if you are a leader, you have to accept that responsibility. I have to accept that there are young kids now that are going to look up to me as an example, and they want to learn from me. Yes, I didn't go to university or a technicon or whatever to work in the industry I worked in, but I went to this school of life. I learned along the way, and whatever I do, it just comes easy to me. And that's another thing that I've had to accept about myself. Like, yes, there was a time when I used to doubt myself. I used to think that I am not up for certain challenges, and now these things are easy. Like, I am accepting that I am becoming Billy Arends, and whoever Billy Arends needs to be, I am becoming. And when I say becoming, it means that I'm never ever going to arrive at a point where I can truly say that I am Billy Arends, this is me, because I will never be the Billy I was yesterday. I do not know who Billy Arends will be tomorrow. I can only live in the present moment and the present Billy Arends that I am. And I am continuously going to grow. Now, I got to the point where I celebrated my birthday, and now I have to get myself mentally ready for the next chapter in my life. It's a clean page. I feel like I have a clean page to write the next chapter of my story. With that being said, things in my life has been changing. Next year comes with new challenges, and I have to prepare myself to face these challenges and the growth that will come with it, the growing pains that are going to come with it, because I'm not going to grow alone. The brand is going to grow with me. Whoever is involved in the brand, we're all going to grow. By the time next year, this time, we're all going to be different people. And that's the role I'm preparing. But that's not it. Only it. I have to actually figure out. That's why this podcast is called Figuring It Out. I have to figure out how I am going to live a balanced life. And with balance, I mean everything, because we are still, at the end of the day, we are still human beings. It doesn't matter what titles you are given at work, like the roles you play in people's lives, because I am a manager, I am a podcaster, I mess around on TikTok, so I'm what they call a TikToker. I'm a friend, I'm an uncle, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a nephew, I'm a godfather. I am all these things, and I have to find balance. And I have to always also find a way to put myself first, because I have to make sure my cup stays full. I have to be self-full, and I have to figure all that out to make sure that I show up as the best version of me that I can be. So the things that I'm not like right now that I'm trying to figure out is like I've gotten so lazy when it comes to like simple workouts. Like this year, like I was very bad at like working out. I have not been working out. And last year or the year before, 2018, I used to walk 10 k's a day. Yes, 10 k's a day. And I used to get into flow state when I take this walk. 10 k's used to take me about an hour and a half to complete. If I do not have an hour and a half, I would do around about 7 k's. And I enjoyed it. It was a part of my life and it helped me to be a little more fit. I was able to do more things, but because I got a bit lazy, I tend to get tired more. So that's one of my priorities. Is like to get my fitness kind of back to where it used to be, because getting back into a fitness routine, it's also it takes time, because you have to, when you like start all over again, you have to start with small steps. You basically have to start, probably say today I'm doing 1k, and then if you find with a 1k, the next day you'll say, okay, today I'm doing 2k's. If you feel like, okay, my body can handle 2k's, then you start adding the kilometers as you go along until you get back to the point where you say, okay, now I can do my 10k's again a day. Yes, I have to figure that out. And then also the other thing I have to figure out is how I'm gonna schedule myself to work, because now I'm at a stage where I kind of do not have to work every day. I have to show up, like, okay, because of the new role. Some days I have to show up at work on a Sunday, which I have to decide times and things. Some days, sometimes I have to show up at work on a Saturday, and then there's during the weekdays. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna do this new job and put in the hours to make sure that the brand becomes a success, which is also, it's part of figuring it out. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to make time for Billy Arends, because you have to spend time with yourself. You have to give yourself time to reconnect with the self, because if you do not do that, you're gonna tend to give and give to others until your cup runs dry, and then you're gonna run on empty. And when you run on empty, that's when you're gonna start with burnout, and that's not good. So I have to figure out how I'm going to do the things I have to do and also keep my cup full. I also have to figure out how I'm gonna make time for my friends, because we are human beings. We need to interact with each other, not digitally, but in the physical, because human interaction is very important for our spiritual and human growth on this earth school. I also need to figure out how I'm going to make time for family. Yeah, like right now in my life, I am single, so I don't have the stress of trying to make time for what you would call your other half or your soulmate. But with that being said, like, if someone would walk into my life right now I too need to figure out how I'm gonna make time for us. Yes, that's life. And when you look at it, it's kind of like life is this orchestra, and you are the conductor, and all these moving elements, all these sounds need to make sense, and there needs to be a balance, and you need to figure out how you're going to make this beautiful sound. That's life. Life is like an orchestra, and we need to figure it out. Yes, as I said, like I am still becoming Bali Arends. Like right now, I'm more confident. Like I have confidence. Like I've never had this confidence in my life. Um, yes, I'm more secure now. Um, there used to be a time when I used to be a yes man. Like I allowed people to walk all over me, and that has come to an abrupt end. Like now, if I feel like I don't want to be around certain energies, I just don't stay around certain energies. I make sure like whoever I'm around, those people have to give me good vibrations, because we are energy beings, and we when we interact with people, we give them our energy and we take their energy. And sometimes if people have bad energy, you tend to take that bad energy with you. So I am very careful these days, like who I really, really, really want around me. Yes, it's another way to keep my cup full. Because if I give people with bad energy or ill intent, it drains my life force, and I will tend to be tired. Not because I made myself tired, but because I chose to be around the wrong energy. I'm not saying people, because yes, we are all people, but we are energy beings. We were given bodies so that we can actually live in this physical world. Without bodies, like we won't be able to do the things we do in this physical world, because this physical world has its own rules. We need to, because we are spiritual beings, for in order for us to operate in this physical world, we need to integrate with the body, and we need to also make sure we take care of this body. That's the other thing that I need to figure out, like how am I going to balance my well-being, my spiritual well-being, my emotional well-being, my sexual well-being. I just need to figure all that out, and figure out who Billy Arends is becoming. Because I've seen a future for myself that looks bright, it looks positive. I've seen a future for myself that is possible, and whatever I'm doing this next year, it's going to impact the future I saw. In order for me to get to where I'm going, I need to be sure that Billy Arends is okay. Yeah, I also need to figure out how to eat right, because I've been eating like all the wrong things. Like even at work, like we so bad, like all of us. Like we just have the worst diet ever. I also need to learn to actually drink water more. I also need to figure out how am I actually gonna balance my chakras, because I'm so out of alignment. Um, I'm I think I think I've figured out my Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept that means the reason for being. Like when you find your purpose, your reason for being on this planet. I've figured it out, and now I'm putting the work in to actually get to where I need to be. So, yeah. So, as I said, I do not have New Year's resolutions, but I do reflect in December when it's my birthday on the things I've done in that year and where I want to go. Also, there's another strange thing that happened this year. For some reason, um, people are coming back into my life that I thought I'll never ever talk to again. Yes, anything is possible. Like people, like it's more than one person that's actually coming back into my life, and for some reason, the connection now it's stronger than it was before we like ghosted each other. That's the term that, yeah, like all these things are happening to me, and I'm very like grateful that these things are happening. And also, like, in life we lose friends, but in order for you to make space for something new, you have to say goodbye to something that's no longer working for the goodness of you. So my circle has changed. I'm beginning to attract more friends from a creative nature, and I'm just happy. I'm continuously vibrating on a frequency of blissfulness, and I'm finally realizing, like, it took me the longest, that um us as human beings, you should never ever search for your happiness in someone else. You have happiness in you. You need to discover your own happiness, and you need to show up in people's lives with your own happiness, because you can never ever give someone else the responsibility to make you happy. You are the person that's supposed to make yourself happy. And if people come into your life and they contribute to your happiness, it's just energy of happiness that's going to grow, and everybody around you will also just be happy. Yes, that's where I'm at in my life. I'm like so damn happy. um I'm loving myself more, like I'm in love with Billy Arends, like especially this version of him. Like I'm so happy, and I'm getting to a point where, like, I'm detached from material things. I know I need to look good, I need to look fly sometimes. Yeah, like I need to make sure my swag is on point. But I'm no longer attached to material things. Like I feel like I'm just like I'm truly in this earth school just to learn, and when it's my time to leave, it's going to be my time to leave. But I'm just on this journey to become Billy Arends. Yes, that's like, I think I went over. Yeah, that's my entry for this episode of becoming Billy Arends. Um, even this podcast. um, from in 2020, when we have everything set up, I am officially going to record this podcast from Evoke Studios. Um, if everything goes well, we're gonna officially turn it into videos. So I am becoming a podcaster, and I hope, like, whatever I do, that someone out there is gonna learn. If that's my purpose in life, it's to teach I'm embracing that also. So this podcast is officially going to, yeah, be recorded from a studio. Like, I'm happy about that. And I'm just like super, super grateful for all the people that are in my life, that's been in my life this year. Like those who I text every day, those who I text sometimes. It's like, yeah, and those who tolerate my craziness. Like, I'm just super happy that I am on the track to becoming Bully Arends. I'm figuring that out. And like, whoever's listening to this podcast, I'm like super, super grateful to you too. Like, thank you so much because you are helping me become Bully Arends.